Later this year, the new Street Fighter movie will be coming out, and honestly, I think it looks pretty fun. I mean, it's got Cody Rhodes, right? That's pretty cool. Fighting games are fun, right? Like, I've never been good at them, but I've always liked them. The roster of fun, cool, badass, or sexy characters. I mean, I was always player 2 getting my ass kicked, but it was fun. Growing up, I'd play Tekken 3 a lot on the PlayStation 1. I wasn't alive when the game actually came out, but we did have an old PlayStation 1 in the early 2000s and would play some older games like Tekken 3. So those characters are seared into my head. I mean, like Street Fighter, I think I've played every single Street Fighter game made. I'm no good at any of them. All I do know is how to do a Hadouken, but they're fun. So, in anticipation of the newest Street Fighter movie coming out, let's take a look at a forgotten fighting movie, Tekken, which came out in 2009. I'm going to be straight up with you. I have no clue about this movie, like, at all. I'm guessing it's bad because I don't know if you guys know, movies based on video games used to have a reputation for always being really bad, until the Sonic franchise ripped that notion apart. Sonic 3 is a masterpiece. But, yeah, I assume this movie blows because I literally have never, ever heard of it. I'd say I'm a moderate Tekken fan. I played Tekken 3 back in the day. I played some of the games on the PSP. I know the characters like Jin, Eddie, Heihachi, and Paul, and my favorite, Yoshimitsu. Heck yeah, Yoshimitsu is my favorite. Bro was like a charismatic alien samurai, and he used to wild out. I'd either pick him or Jin. I can't remember the chicks though, unless you guys want to play Dead or Alive. No, I guess that's a story for another day. Anyway, point is, I'm not a Tekken super fan, but I don't think I need to be for this purpose. We're taking a look at the movie on its own merit, as I believe sometimes the most wonderful pieces of art can be found in the most overlooked places. And I do like the franchise and do know about it, so let's pop it in. Let's see what this movie is all about and why no one talks about it ever. Hey, maybe it's a hidden gem.
One shitty video game movie later.
You know, sometimes there are movies you're shocked to see have a low score on Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or whatever. Like, you just don't understand how such a well-made piece of cinema could be so resoundingly unliked by everyone else. I know there are a few of my all-time favorites that have criminally low scores. Tekken is not one of those movies. I definitely came into this movie knowing it wasn't going to be the greatest of all time, but I can definitely see why it has a 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. But a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes? Now that's just rude, man. Sure, it isn't a well-made movie, but there's some enjoyment to be had here. 0%? That's crazy. I mean, I've learned to take Rotten Tomatoes ratings with, like, a fistful of salt over the years anyway. But I digress. Let's get into this movie. I mean, I should probably start with the negatives. It's not well made. The acting isn't great. At all. The sets are obviously on a soundstage. It's like you can almost see the corners. There are frames and costumes in this movie that genuinely made me wonder if this was a fan film, or a sketch from something like Smosh in 2009. Although, I feel like those guys would have had better lighting and costumes back in those days.
Yeah, my name is Link, man. I'm more well known than Lil Wayne.
But, I mean, it'd be pretty easy to tear the film apart. The plot is flimsy. It's just loosely tied together to get these guys to fight. But it's not all bad. I could probably keep going, but there is some fun to be had here. The fights are actually pretty decent, which, I mean, I would hope so. It's a fighting movie. I'd say the best part of the movie is when they introduce all the Tekken characters back to back. It was hype, seeing the live action versions of the video game characters.
To wet work. Lethal ninjutsu expert. Eddie Gordo from Valancorp. Capoeira master, underworld enforcer.
I think that was cool, if anything. And we got fucking Yoshimitsu in this place, man. Let's go, bro. I can't believe I had never seen a frame of this movie before now. But it's cool to see a live action version of Yoshimitsu. I know there are a couple versions of this character, but I'm telling you, if I saw this movie when it came out in 2009, when I was a little kid, I would have been hyped at seeing Yoshimitsu. And then I'd be equally as pissed when Jin kicked his ass. I'd say it probably would have ruined the entire movie for me. But speaking of Jin, the entire film is like this road to glory / revenge for him. The Jacks, or whatever you call them, Heihachi's generic henchmen, kill his mother in the beginning of the film, which Jin shows like no reaction to, by the way. Then he has to win a fight against martial law. And I'm like, this guy looks nothing like Law. Brother, who is that? I guess the guy who would have perfectly played Law did pass away a good few years before this movie was filmed, but still, man, who is this jobber? Jin gets his ass kicked, but still somehow wins, which is like every fight in this movie. I'd say the actor portraying Jin doesn't really act that well, but he still does an okay job carrying the movie for what it is. Yeah, sure, his delivery sucks, but he's still somewhat likable enough in the context of the story to make the film watchable. And I'd say there are some great frames of him looking bloodied and badass. I mean, Broski was looking good, not gonna lie. Speaking of frames, I did say most of the cinematography in this film is poor, with two exceptions. The fights are fine. They're not overly shaky and are pretty badass in that never back down, bro chill sort of way. Like a real life AMV, if you remember what those are. But another surprise for me was some of the establishing shots of the city. These are so different from anything else in the film. They look like video game renders, and they're pretty unique. I like them. I like how the blurry lights look against the dark, like something out of a Final Fantasy game or something. Whack a grainy filter on those and throw them up on Pinterest, and that's like an easy 6 likes. Maybe even 10, who knows. In addition to Jin, we've got some supporting cast helping him out. We've got Steve Fox, who I have never heard of, helping him out, and he's okay. He's meant to be like Jin's mentor, and he gets offed later in the movie. I don't know if I zoned out when it happened, but I literally felt nothing when he was killed. And then there's Christy Montero. Her, just like Steve, are meant to be based on characters from the game, but, I get the feeling they stopped caring about that.
And today you're a celebrity. Get used to it.
Ayo, maybe this movie isn't that bad. I mean, it is what it is at this point. The movie is best when the fights are happening, like the first fight with Eddie against Raiden. I thought he was from Mortal Kombat. Oh, Raven. I thought that was entertaining and choreographed well enough. While Jin is making his way through the fighters, we've got Heihachi and Kazuya doing their evil scheming stuff. But I'm sorry, bro. Some of the scenes with them in this movie look so bad. It's like a fan film, or worse yet, a porn parody. And what's up with Kazuya's room? Why is it so empty, and why does he have a random poster of a girl? What's up with that, bro? The last fight against Brian Fury is not bad. The score leading up to the fight, where Jin gets all his Windows Movie Maker flashbacks, is actually a good piece of score. And then Jin beats his ass, and we all go home happy. It's obviously not a good movie. It's cheesy without being campy enough to be good-natured. It's filmed badly. The budget really shows. But Christy Montero is wearing whatever that is, so, I mean, what is that? I think if you're a die-hard Tekken fan, you're either going to find some enjoyment in there or just hate it completely. I think there is some fun to be had in that novelty way, like you're seeing this obscure piece of video game cinema. I didn't think it was boring. I wasn't waiting for it to end, so in that way, I was entertained. I wasn't constantly looking at my watch.
What's the old man waiting for?
Why is Kazuya thinking about his dad when he's having a threesome? What is going on here, man? Also, I feel like he's the type of character Johnny Drama from Entourage would play. And then there is probably one of the lamest after-credit scenes in a movie I have ever seen before at the end.
I am Mishima Heihachi. I am Tekken. You will obey.
The movie isn't unwatchable. There's something there. I'd honestly give it a 1 out of 5. Maybe a 2. Okay, a 1. A 1. Well, that was Tekken. I was curious about this movie, and, well, I guess you know what they say about being curious. Tekken is very much a film that lends itself to the bad reputation video game movies of that era had. But there's fun there. It's not a total fucking disaster, but it's more Dragon Ball Evolution than it is Street Fighter 2. So I wonder now, when the new Street Fighter comes out later this year, which path it will go down. I have been Archie. If you want to see me talk about movies, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you later.